it was just so small and so compact, and like we were all hustling and we were doing absolutely everything and anything that needed to be done. And that was such a fun time and such a simple time compared to like now. Now is incredible, but I do look back and I think I just wish we like celebrated that a little bit more, or you could live in that moment for a little bit longer sometimes.
Yeah. Welcome back to Selfdom, the podcast where we explore the journeys of individuals embracing authenticity and growth. In today's episode, we are thrilled to have Matilda Murray, co-founder and brand manager of STAX, an Australian activewear brand that's reshaping the industry with its inclusive sizing and fashion-forward designs. Since its inception in 2015, STAX has grown from a small startup to a globally recognized name, offering high-quality activewear in sizes XX to 4XL. Under Matilda's leadership, the brand has garnered a loyal following and expanded its presence with multiple retail stores across Australia. In our conversation today, Till shares her journey from a corporate career in HR to building a multi-million-dollar business with her husband, Don Robertson. She discusses the challenges and triumphs of growing STAX, the importance of inclusivity in fashion, and the lessons learned along the way. Whether you're an entrepreneur, fashion enthusiast, or someone interested in the power of inclusive branding, this episode offers valuable insights and inspiration. So without further ado, welcome to Selfdom.
Thank you so much, my love.
I am so excited.
I'm so excited. Long time coming.
I know, and you've kitted me out.
You look fantastic.
But it's the first hot day. I'm like sweating. It's the first hot day in Sydney.
We should be in crop tops, really, but I mean.
I know, but I was like, I'm dedicated to this fit. It's so cute. So, Till, tell us how this all started. How did you meet Don? How did STAX start?
Do you know what is so cool? I was thinking about like how life just will always happen for you, right? And I'm such a big believer in it happens for you, not to you. Every moment can be shaping your world without realizing. So like Don and I started in recruitment. My background is recruitment. I'm a corporate girly. I worked in recruitment for like 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So I'm showing my age, but I was always in a safe job. And I met Don on my lunch break, which is wild. So I popped into a supplement store next door to my office. Don was there. I bought a protein bar from him. And I like look back and I was like looking on the apps, looking on Tinder, trying to find a boyfriend, doing all of this stuff. And then suddenly you just kind of let life happen to you and things work out. And it is crazy to think that that was like 10 years ago now. And fate happened. I wasn't interested in being an entrepreneur. I wasn't interested in owning my own business. I wasn't interested in all of this. I didn't have this like crazy big plan. I always thought that I would be in a safe corporate job because I had spent so many years in recruitment. Like that was all I knew. That was what I was good at. And then I just kind of opened myself up to meeting Don and all of the opportunities that kind of fell into place around it. And I'm such a big believer in just being open to things that happen and letting things happen the way that they do. And it's so it's actually like I often reflect on the fact that Don and I met in such an organic way. It blows my mind. And I had no idea. Don had just started the brand. So he started the brand. He was selling tights. Occasionally, he was DMing girls trying to get them to buy a pair of tights on pre-sale because he had no money to order the product in bulk. And I had no idea what STAX was. It was a tiny business. I thought it was really cute of him that he wanted to try and sell tights, but I was going to be like a boss bitch, a corporate babe, like I'll be the sugar mama and he can sell his tights on the side. And I had no interest in joining STAX at all. Seriously, I was like, this is very sweet of him. I'm just going to let him take me out on a couple of dates. Like, bless him. Like, I'll wear the tights here and there if I like them. 10 years on, it's crazy to think that like that one moment really did just change everything in my life.
Yeah, I guess it's that I don't chase, I attract.
Yes.
Like that really came into life for you. And I just also think the whole dating part of it, like let's step away from STAX, but the fact that you can meet your lifelong partner going in and buying a protein bar. Yeah. Like let that be an example to have your shoulders up, don't look at your phone, be present and just be that warm energy. Because I'm sure you walked in there warm, flirty.
Oh my God, it's so funny. So my corporate office was very casual unless we were like going to see a client, right? Like would take clients out for coffee, out for lunch in recruitment. So no one wore heels. Then I started I don't know, I must have gone into the supplement store and saw Don, and suddenly I'm wearing a little black dress. I'm wearing my heels every day, and the girls are like, where is she going on her lunch break? This looks so sus. And I was just popping next door, and I had my shoulders down, my head up, and I was ready. But
so cute.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's the energy that you bring, you also attract back.
So I want to step back though, because you went in there, Don had STAX, that was his brand. How did it happen that you started working for the brand? And I also want to talk a lot about the journey, because this is a long format platform. And I feel like Instagram just shows everyone's highlight reels. And as someone who's just starting business myself, you don't realize a brand's been around for a decade.
Yeah.
And you're like, how do I get from where I am now to where you guys are now? So he had the brand. How did you get involved?
So he had the brand. I met him, and I remember he gave me a pair of tights to take a sexy pic for Instagram. That sounds so bad now. It sounds a little bit perverted.
People doing that on Instagram back then? No?
Not that I was aware of. My Instagram was the same 3 selfies with a sepia filter, black and white filter, and that's it.
Showing our age.
And when he told me to take a pic for Instagram, I was like, what? This makes no sense. So I went on Instagram, deleted all of my photos, of course, because I was like, oh, people actually look at this. And I took a pic because I thought he was cute. So I took a pic of myself in the tights, posted it on Instagram.
So he was doing influencer gifting without realizing.
Yeah.
Before its time.
Before we had platforms, before I had no following at all. He was doing that. And so I sent him the photo, posted it on my Instagram. We started dating, and he's always been really obsessed with the business and with the brand. And I just kind of fell into it because I was spending so much time with him. I would start sharing my opinions on, my opinions on women's activewear, I think, were very well received from a man who doesn't wear women's activewear. Do you know what I mean? So we'd be going to the gym together, and girls would come up to me and be like, oh my God, I love your tights. And then I'll be like, oh, well, my partner, we can get you a pair, or this is where you shop, or they would love a pair of tights that did this. And people became a lot more confident in telling me what they wanted in activewear. And we've always been, it's funny, even looking back, we've always been very community driven. At the gym, without even trying, we always chatted to everybody. We got feedback. We would do group workouts in a sense that everyone would come in, we'd train on a Saturday morning, and we'd have a big group of people that all go down there together. Without trying to sell product, Don and I have always just done community. So the girls would come to me and they'd be able to give me feedback and suggestions, and then I would pass them on to Don. And it's funny because, like I said, I had no interest in being in the brand, but it was my responsibility to share the feedback, right? So then Don would create things, and then we'd do a shoot, and we couldn't afford a model. So I would be in front of the camera, Don would be shooting the photos, and then I'd go to my corporate job. So we would do a shoot at 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
5 to 7 a.m. And then I'd have to catch the train to work at 7:30. And so without realizing, I had just suddenly fallen into the brand. And this went on for a couple of years. I was still working in recruitment, but I was also working STAX before work, after work, on my lunch break,
God, wow.
Any spare time. But again, I didn't think of it as work because it was just something that Don and I kind of did together. And so we ended up, a couple of years down the track, and I left a couple of recruitment roles, and I ended up in a recruitment role that my boss was fantastic because she knew about STAX as well, and she really supported the fact that I had this other brand, or that I was getting so involved in it. And looking back now, she was I credit to her all the time. She was incredible and an incredible mentor, because now as a boss, looking back, that she was able to support my journey and support me with what I wanted to do. I'm like, wow, that's a strong woman to see. I'm working for her, but she also knows that I want to do something else, and she was letting me do both. So I got a transfer. We were all in Perth, so this all started in Perth, and I got a transfer from Perth to head up the Sydney office in recruitment with this manager. And so that's how we ended up in Sydney, because we couldn't afford to move to Sydney. I was still full-time recruitment. Don was working STAX. We moved across to Sydney. I was paying the bills, looking after the both of us, kind of. And I was the Sydney recruitment office. But the Sydney recruitment office happened to be from a little STAX storage unit where I could be packing orders and also taking my recruitment calls. And I was the third employee at STAX, and I didn't leave my full-time job until we had hit specific targets every single day. And I'm not someone that, as much as I'm live in the moment and let the universe take control, I'm also very strategic, and as a corporate girly, I know we got to pay bills. There's targets that we need to hit and money that we need to make every single day. So once we hit those targets, that's when I was finally able to leave. And I used to think, oh my God, I hope there's enough work for me to do every day. Like I thought, what am I going to spend my days doing? Like, oh my God, working for myself, I'm going to have so much free time. You know what it's like. Free time doesn't really exist anymore.
No.
But yeah, it's crazy. And that was all like 10 years ago now.
Wow. So how long did it take for you to go as a employee? Like, was it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years?
So 2016, 15, 16 is when I met Don. And then we moved to Sydney in 2020, I think.
Wow.
So I was it's only been like, 3 years, 4 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. It has it. Like I was juggling it all, doing STAX, doing recruitment all at the same time for many, many years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then when you were starting, did he have a Shopify? Like what did they use?
No, there was nothing. There was no
how
Shopify.
did they sell?
It was, I think he had Shopify, but he did all of the website, like all of the lessons and all of the online things that Don had to go through, and even creating the website. I remember he was saying he paid someone else to create the website, but he then had to pay them for every single change on the website that he did. And that website generated no sales.
Wow.
And like I said, it was very community focused. So Don wasn't selling to like people, all over the world at the time. It was DMing people close at the gym, selling a pair of tights, doing pop-up shops. We did a lot of pop-up shops constantly as well. And so I remember we made like $400 at a pop-up shop one day, and it was like a Saturday, and we spent the whole day there and made $400, and we were like, oh my God, this is it. Like we have made it. It's those little moments when I look back and I'm like, oh, I wish that I could just like appreciate that for what it is a little bit more back then. And it's the same as when we had like our 3 employees. Like when it was just so small and so compact, and like we were all hustling and we were doing absolutely everything and anything that needed to be done. And that was such a fun time and such a simple time compared to like now. Now is incredible, but I do look back and I think I just wish we like celebrated that a little bit more, or you could live in that moment for a little bit longer sometimes.
Yeah. Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
How did you guys have the exponential growth that you have? Are there key moments in the business journey that was a game changer?
Yes. So it's actually so funny. I was talking about this with someone last night. When it was COVID, it was such a hard time for so many people, but is it bad to say we got lucky during COVID? But we did. And people were no longer wearing business suits. People wanted to be wearing activewear. And we had our premium seamless collection, which was going to be like this massive collection. And pre-COVID, we had organized all these influencers to come over, influencer models. We were doing an event. It was going to be like the biggest thing ever. And this also was when like influencer marketing was at its prime.
Like it actually worked.
It actually worked. And you would have someone, come off a reality TV show, and then they could sell out everything. And so we just had this. So we had this collection, and we put all of our money into the container, getting the shipping container over. We literally emptied our bank accounts because this was going to be a huge collection. COVID hadn't happened, and this was going to set us up, apparently. So we empty our bank accounts, we put all of our money into getting premium seamless container over to Sydney, and the world goes into lockdown. And so we can't contact anyone. Our container is just like in the middle of the ocean, all of our money, all of our plans, we have no idea. And looking back, like Don and I just kind of crossed our fingers and hoped everything would be okay. And
you've left your recruitment job now.
Left my recruitment job.
So it's all in STAX right now.
Yeah, it's COVID. Nothing's happening. And the money and the container's gone. And thank God the container shows up, which is amazing. So we shoot the collection. We're in lockdown still. I have to model the collection because we can no longer fly over models, influencers, it's the social distancing. So Don is shooting the collection on me. We go live with the collection. It sells out within 60 seconds, which is amazing.
Did you have like a following at that stage?
We had started showing BTS. We had launched a couple of collections. Yeah. We hadn't been overly honest with the fact that the container went missing because like that was quite stressful. Sometimes I find it difficult to come online during stressful periods. I can talk about things afterwards, but while I'm going through it, I'm like, I've just got to push through. So we had launched a few collections here and there, but nothing like what we were planning. And like I said, everyone was just at home watching social media. Everyone was shopping. So we sell out in 60 seconds. We're celebrating. Amazing, amazing. We forget to turn off the oversell. So what happens is we had sold all of this product and then we also kept selling product that we didn't have anymore. So we oversold like crazy and it just kept selling. And we were celebrating because we're like, oh my God, like the money's going up. Like this is incredible. And they're like, hold on, wait.
We don't have the product.
We don't have the product. And it just took so long to get this product in the first place. And it was actually so crazy. So we ended up turning off the oversell. Thank God.
How long after?
So, it was not too long, but the sales kept coming in and it's hard to turn it off when you see like, oh my God, people are shopping. We turn it off and suddenly customer service, which was me because we had no staff at the time and we're just using Outlook, we're getting bombarded by people, where's my order? And so we have to make sure that these people are aware that now it's on pre-sale. So we had to revert back to the pre-sale model. And it's just so funny, I think.
But your original order, like your original Dawn days.
Yeah.
To pre-sale.
Exactly. It's so funny to think of like the ebbs and flows in business because we sell out under a minute. It's amazing. It's incredible. Woohoo. But we're too busy celebrating to then realize that we accidentally forgot to turn it off and now we've got that to deal with too. It's crazy because at the time during COVID, everyone was just at home waiting for their packages as well. So dealing with that customer service was really tough. Luckily, our factories did support us and we managed to get product in, but there was a wait and I was on customer service. I remember it would be like 4 a.m. Lucky I didn't have much else to do because it was COVID. We were all in lockdown. So I was just on customer service replying to customers like, oh, like, there's a delay in the processing. It'll be here. And eventually everything came in. But that was one of the moments where it's like everything happened so fast, but it all ended up happening for us. And then, the mass celebrities, mass reality stars, everyone was wearing STAX at the time.
Wow.
And it was just like, it was crazy how it all kind of, everything happened so quickly, the good, the bad, the in-between. And then it really helped us kind of take off from there.
Yeah, it's like the image that Zoe and I were talking about where you're digging for gold and the guy stops a second before he reaches it. And it's like, it sounded that it took 5 years to really get to a point and then that gold moment happened for you. And I think that's really inspiring for anyone listening and myself that the gold can be right there. You've got to keep going every single day, one foot in front of the other and being persistent, consistent, and also knowing what you're doing it for and your why.
I think the gold is all, and you're always searching for the more gold because even like a couple of months ago, Don and I were talking about that exact picture when we've been like, the last couple of years have been really transformative and hard for us personally and professionally. And so when we always reference back to that exact picture because you never know how close you really are. But if you give up, then you're not going to fail unless I think you give up and you turn around and the gold is even more out of reach.
Yeah. What would you say your and Don's why is when it comes to STAX?
I think our community is really, truly the backbone of it all. There is nothing more special than people coming up to us and saying, not just like, I love your tights, but the fact that people can wear our tights at any stage of their journey, any size they are, and they will say how confident it makes them feel. And it blows my mind that there is so much more of a story behind what someone chooses to put on as opposed to just like what they look like. It's not, oh, the crop top cinches me in or the tights cinch me in. It's like, I haven't been able to feel this confident post something or other and now I wear this and it's changed. There's so many backstories with everything. That is really, really beautiful when people take time out of their day to come up to us or to message us and tell us that through a piece of clothing or a campaign or an event or something we've said, it's really changed their life. Like that's really cool. And little old me from Perth, it blows my mind that people like want to come up and share that with me. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, I love that. I want to talk about the community aspect. Obviously, it was something from the get-go when you guys were at the gym doing the classes, but how have you gotten your community still involved when the business has just grown so much?
Yeah, community, like I said, it's always been what we've been about. And we have the most incredible community. Like I said, Don would be like DMing people to get them to buy tights. Those people, that one person that I'm thinking of still shops with us today.
Oh my God.
10 years on. And so we've just always nurtured the community, and we've always just been about the community and creating products for them. I think that's something over the past few years that we've really learned to listen to as well, because sometimes you don't want to hear feedback. You don't want to hear negative feedback about things, but in terms of growth and looking after your community and really creating products for people that are purchasing, you have to listen to them and you have to take on feedback. And we're always interacting with our community. We have a Facebook group of over 50,000 members in there.
Wow.
Don and I reply to them individually. We're talking about them. They get to know about sales. They get to help with product designs. They get to know about everything. And I think it's just the human aspect of it as well. Like Don and I aren't like these unreachable people who are just like building this business and then not even listening to the customers and hoping that they purchase it or assuming that they'll purchase it. We want to actually make product for people that they can come and tell their stories too. You know what I mean? Like they actually want to feel empowered enough to wear something. And it's just when you make a product and someone absolutely loves it and it changes their life, that's the reason you keep nurturing the community. Because you're like, wow, like if you have the power to do that, why not continue?
Yeah. I think also with community, because you guys have such a big size range, I think in a world now where our social medias are flooded with like these really skinny girls and it's really, really scary, you guys have stayed so true to your brand ethos. Your size range, when did that start, or was that always your unique selling?
So we go extra, extra small to 4XL, which we're the first Australian brand to do so, which is something we're so proud of. But we weren't able to do it from the get-go, which I think is something that people maybe aren't aware of, because you do need to, there are SKU targets. So you can't just, there's minimum order quantities. So you can't just buy like when you start 2 pairs of this size, 2 pairs of that size. It is really hard for a very small business to be able to purchase large amounts of all of the sizes. And you can't just pick and choose. Like if you want a couple of extra, extra smalls and you want this many smalls, you have to be able to meet those quantities. So I do think businesses, it's probably funny for me to say this, but I do think businesses are given a hard time when they're not able to be so size inclusive, because it is an expensive task and it's something that if you can afford to do it, you should absolutely do it. And it is one of my favorite things about the brand. Like truly, I'm passionate about the fact that anyone at any size can wear any of our products, but not all businesses, especially when they're starting out, can do it. And I also think that's okay. They should aim to be able to do it, but it's not something that is a super cheap practice that you can start as soon as you launch your business. So we didn't do it from the get-go, but it was always our aim. And a couple of years in, as soon as we could afford to extend the size range, both the smaller sizes and the larger sizes, it's what we did. And it's something that, we're both so proud of.
I think that's what allows your community to be loyal.
Yeah.
Because they know throughout their own changes and growth, maybe they have a baby, or they can always wear STAX.
Yeah.
And they can always embrace, movement in any way that feels right for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so important. So when your team grew from 3, then you had this big growth phase during COVID. Did you have to go hire people? So
we hired, we were so desperate when that oversell situation happened. Like I said, I was working till 3 a.m. I remember Don would have to drag me off the couch because we didn't even have, now we use obviously email systems, but we were using Outlook. So it was people were emailing us and I was replying to one individual email, going through it, and then they'd reply so quickly because everyone's at home, so they're able to reply really quickly to me. And Don's like, maybe you should not sign off Matilda. Let's put another name on there so people don't know that you're the one that's emailing, because I just want to refund everyone and make everyone happy. Do you know what I mean? It's so personal when it's your brand. I'm up till 3 a.m. every night. Don's pulling me off the couch. I'm crying. I'm devastated. Because you take everything so personally, right? So if people are waiting for their people can be really mean.
Let's be real. We even get sometimes an email and we're like, whoa.
It's wild. And I think people forget that it's real people on the other side. We're not out here trying to not give you your product.
No.
No, I don't think anyone is.
I also think that now I have a small business. You guys would have been small then. You don't make any money as well. You're working for free. You're up at 3 a.m. not getting paid a cent.
Literally.
It's out of your goodwill.
It's those memes where it's when you're angry at someone, when you're when you're emailing me angry, this is who you're talking to. And it's like a cute little chicken with like pink hair clips in. It was me with tears at 3 a.m. And Don says to me, we need to hire someone. So our first hire, it would have been our fourth hire, just came out of desperation. We jumped on like a Facebook group, a community group of like a local area. And we're like, does anyone want a customer service job? And she came along. I think she started like the next day.
People probably really needed jobs too at that point.
Yeah, she did. And so she just worked remotely doing the customer service. It was a lot of the times we did just hire out of desperation. And again, Don and I our parents aren't entrepreneurs. Like we don't have an entrepreneurial background. My parents are school teachers and we had no one to ask for help or to guidance. So everything we kind of did was out of like desperate times and desperate measures. Like we were like
forced.
Literally, we're like, oh my God, like this is so much. What do we do next? What's the smartest move? And we definitely didn't always make the smartest moves, but we learned along the way. And I think looking back now, customer service is definitely something to hire, especially if you are an empath and attached to every single email that comes in and getting upset at 3 a.m., then definitely see what you can outsource. But I think looking at a business from like a bird's eye view and being able to work out what is missing and what will help your business grow is so important, as opposed to like, I need a CFO because someone told me that. Like, don't compare your business to someone else's. True. Look at your pain points, solve for them. And then once you've solved for them, look at who or what you can bring in to get to the next level of your business.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good advice. I want to dig a little deeper into you and Don.
Yep.
Working with your partner or your husband, what are some highs? What are some lows?
So the thing I love about working with Don is that we have the same end goal, right? So if we both have the same vision, we both want the best for each other, for our relationship and for the business. So if we fight, which we do because we're very similar, but we're also very opposite, and we both have strong opinions.
What are your star signs?
I'm Aquarius. Don's a Gemini.
Oh,
I married a Gemini. Crazy.
Crazy.
But apparently Aquarius and Gemini is a good match.
A good compatibility.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
We can do it later on the little quiz.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I'll put it in.
So Don and I both are very like headstrong, but the thing is we do know and understand that we have the same vision. So if we have a good day at work, my favorite thing is that we both had a good day. Like if there's a business win in my space, which is like PR and brand, or in his space, which is like very much, I do the glossy stuff and he does like the CEO stuff. So if either one of us has like a really good win, we both have a good win and we don't have to explain it to each other. We get it. Same as if we have a shitty day. So if something goes wrong, I think a lot of the time if you aren't working with your partner, if you've had a bad day, you come home, you're in a bad mood, like blah, 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 that your partner doesn't really understand it. Whereas Don and I get it and we get each other so well. So we celebrate the wins together and we can cry about the lows and the losses together as well, which is something I really love. And we do very separate jobs. That's the thing. It's kind of like sometimes we work for the same company, but we have different roles within the company. I have a different team. He has a different team. We are obviously in meetings all day together, but we have like different to-do lists, which is really important, I think. I'm not like sitting on his lap and typing on the keyboard with him. Do you know what I mean? We have to have our own thing to make us feel accomplished and independent as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think everyone could do it. I think you have to have different skill sets because otherwise you don't want to bicker over the same thing and you don't want to be like overstepping on each other's toes. I think that's important too. You need to have your own confidence to make a decision in your department and then be supported by your partner that you made the right decision because you guys have the same vision. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you feel like at the start, because it was smaller, you were bickering a bit more? Like it was kind of the lanes were meshed?
I think so, yeah. I don't know if we were bickering as much. I think but it makes it sound like we fight all the time. But we definitely, the roles were more combined because we were all just trying to do everything. We probably were bickering because I am a really fast pick packer and Don is not. Like anyone that worked next to me when we had to pick our own orders, like now downstairs we've got our studio, our warehouse and our office all in one space and our warehouse is huge. We have an incredible warehouse team and I would not be able to find a pair of socks in the warehouse. Like it is so automated. I don't know how to use the systems, but back in the day, obviously we were packing our own stuff. But like I don't know, I loved pick packing because I love the feeling of like, firstly, you get like 30,000 steps a day, which is fab. Secondly, you feel so satisfied because it's like you're ticking off a to-do list. And then at the end, like seeing all the orders go down, and I'm fast. Don, not so fast. So that's when we were bickering, because I was like, stop listening to a podcast and let's walk faster and get these orders out.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
that's so cute.
But I loved it. Like, I absolutely loved, like, back in those
order.
days. I like order.
Well, that's like you as a corporate girly, and like you like the structure and the order.
I love a
just
to-do
different
list.
personalities.
Yeah.
You're type A personality.
Yes.
Type.
And his inbox is wild. So we're definitely different in that sense. So I'm glad we have separate roles sometimes.
And so how many staff do you guys have now?
Including retail, I think we're sitting at about like 90 to 100.
What?
Which is crazy. In office,
So
we
you're
have about
telling me
20.
5 years ago, it was just like 3 of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
We've been busy.
That is an amazing 5 years.
Yeah, it's been wild.
Do you guys talk about like family and stuff like that? Where are you guys at with this?
It's so hard, like kids and stuff, do you mean? It's so hard to work out when is the right time. It is so difficult, but I feel like over the next couple of years would be amazing.
Yeah.
Don would be an amazing dad. We can do kids stuff. People ask all the time, and I always say, when I'm pregnant, I'm not passionate about baby clothes, but when I'm pregnant or when I have kids, like, that'll change. I'm sure I will absolutely be all about it. So that's even maternity tights and things like that. I always think like it's hard for me to like really be passionate, because we only put out products we truly love as well.
Yeah.
So it sometimes is hard for me to be like, these are the perfect maternity tights when I've never had to wear maternity tights before. But in saying that, we will release a product. Like, we've just done these fold over flares and they go up to like here. And so people love them, mamas, because it covers the bump. And if you don't have a bump, you can wear them like super low, and it can be like cute 90s style, center stage kind of vibes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. So we've made maternity tights without realizing. But one day when I am pregnant, I'm sure I'll be all about maternity tights. And
you'll be back on the modeling for STAX.
Literally.
Like OG days.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think it's like the business changes as you guys change.
Yeah. Well, so much. And it's like we mature and so does the business. And I think that is so cool, because something that Don and I have like learned over the past couple of years is that we don't know everything, and it's okay not to know everything, and it's okay to be human and to ask for help or ask for opinions or say you've made a mistake. That is totally fine. And I think like that's something that we as a business also do and can mature into. And I'm proud of that. I think that's really cool.
You should be. Did you guys ever have a business mentor?
No.
We've just done it all yourself.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Now we have like a board of mentors, which has been game changing. But Don and I don't want to say we were so egotistic, but at the start of the business, because we had like such growth during COVID, we just thought we had it all worked out. And for many years, we just thought that we knew everything. But now I look back and I'm like, what on earth made us think that we know everything? Because like we're all this is our first time having a human experience. We're just doing our best every single day. We're all just like one another, literally trying to put one foot in front of another. But Don and I always thought like, oh, we know the business the best. We know this, we know that. But turns out like that's not true. People have done things before. People have experience, and it's okay to turn around and say that you don't know what you're doing or you need help in this area and this aspect. And I think that's like one of the personal shifts that Don and I have had over the past few years, is like letting go of our ego and realizing that it's okay to like put your hand up and say, I don't know, or ask a question even if you think it might be a dumb question.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like sometimes you'll sit in a room and you don't understand something, but you think, oh, I should know this. I can't ask. But then you're just like ending up on the back foot all the time. That's how you grow and how you learn, is actually being brave enough to be like, I don't understand that. Or can we explain that? Or we just go back to this, or asking for help. And yeah, we didn't have a business mentor, but now we talk to so many people and we collaborate with people, and we are so open to learning and sharing. And I think that's been like a huge shift as well. Not being so closed off all the time.
Yeah, and I think that's really good advice, because it's also a business expense to have mentors. So I feel like when you're at the early stages of business, you're kind of just doing as much as you can.
Totally.
And like naive is almost a gift in that sense.
Oh
you're
my
like,
God.
you don't know anything better.
Yes. I look back and I think if I knew at the very start like how hard business is, probably wouldn't do it. Like that's like, I'm grateful that you kind of just jump into things naive and with your blinkers on, and you just do whatever you can. I would hire from a Facebook group, customer service, to try and like go to bed at a reasonable hour.
Yeah. It worked out.
It worked out.
For anyone listening who's new to business and they just want 3 tips from someone who's really successful and killing it, what would it be?
I think don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, don't be afraid to say you don't know something. I know I just said that, but truly that is like a number one thing. Like, put your ego aside. You don't have to know everything, and no one expects you to either. Like, you're always your biggest critic. Don't compare your journey, your business to anyone else's, in terms of if you look at a business and you think they have this much space in their warehouse, they have a board of mentors, they have this position, they have this position. Look at your business from a bird's eye view and work out what will solve the problem that you're experiencing now. And once you've done that, what will take your business to the next level and hire that way. And 3, I think just appreciate them where you are in the present moment. Like I said, like when the business was small and there was just like the 3 of us, that was the best time. Like, we had so much fun. Sometimes Don and I will drive past like the old warehouse, like where we worked. And I was like, wow, those were the days. But when you're in those days, you're always wanting more. And you're always like ready for the next thing. And this is great, but it's not enough. It's not good enough. And I think if I could go back, I feel like I'm going to be like this forever. I'm always going to be like, if I could go back and just like relive that one moment and just appreciate it for what it is. I think like take pictures and really just enjoy all of the little wins and the losses as well, like, because you'll learn from them and you'll look back in a couple of years and be like, oh, that was such a big deal then, but it's nothing compared to like what I'm going through now, and the lessons that it has taught me has all been so worth it.
Yeah. And one thing I really want to touch on as well is the power of social media. Social media has had a huge role for your business. Yes. What has worked and what hasn't?
So I think, like we said, social media and influencers has changed so much.
But you're also in yourself like an influencer, even though you weren't at the start.
Yeah.
But with the business, you've grown like a very good, strong audience.
Thank you. Yeah, it's funny that, because I see both working with a brand and as a brand, so I can see both sides.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really interesting to see. It's the same thing as like when you work for someone and then you are a boss and you see both sides. And when I am posting on socials and when I'm telling people to post on socials, I see both sides. So it's really interesting.
Good.
Yes, but it does mean that I am like, I know what people can do and I know how things What am I trying to say? How things work, but I have very high standards for the content that I put out and the content that I receive.
But you also know the negotiation process too. Like you're well around it.
Yeah. It's
so like businesses who want to work with you, beware, because you know.
I know what I'm doing.
You know what I'm doing.
It's so funny, but
yeah. So why do you feel that the influencer space has changed so much?
I think when during COVID, everyone was on socials. Everyone was like buying what the reality stars said and all of this stuff. And I think that people just probably got a bit smarter.
Like they know it's paid.
They know it's paid. Cost of living as well. Obviously, that has huge impact.
Yeah, COVID. Everyone was like getting government payments.
Totally,
and it was
you're getting paid to stay home a lot of the time.
Yeah, it was a crazy time.
Yeah, so I think that's changed, and I think people just want to spend their money a lot wiser now. And I also think there's like trends that come through. Social media and influencers had such a pull, and now that's not necessarily the case. Just because you have a huge following doesn't mean that people are going to shop what you say. But then people are also, social media can be used for different things. You can do like business, you could be brand awareness, conversions, different people and different people do different things, which I think is something really to note. And it's really interesting to me because sometimes you'll work with an influencer or you'll work with a personality and nothing will happen, or you'll work with them and it's huge. And sometimes it really is just like a luck of the draw, which is crazy.
You kind of just have to trial and error.
Error. Yeah, it's wild.
I think what I've noticed with social media marketing is the influencer has to have more than just a social media following.
Yeah.
Like whether it's a YouTube channel, something that shows their personality. I feel that even as a consumer, I want to buy the things that feel more genuine, long-term partnerships, or they even show just in a funnier way. Like that's why mums do so well.
Yeah.
They'll show their baby vomiting on the STAX clothes. Or like and for some reason that would sell it because people are like, she's actually wearing it and it's raw and it's real. I feel like people are done with the polished stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that works well with STAX as a brand because you're community.
Yeah.
Community first always.
100%. And it's fun watching people that you can actually relate to. Like, you know, when people are just doing a paid job and they wear something once and they never wear it again, like that's not what we want to do. We want, obviously, obviously we do paid things on socials, but we also want people to be organically wearing the product.
Yeah.
And I think you asked like if there's anything that's like been a hit or a miss on socials. And I think when we've done paid posts or one-off with somebody instead of a partnership, the one-offs don't really convert. Like it's a cool bragging right for what is the news cycle, 24 hours or whatever, not even because people don't always see feed posts anymore. So it's cool to brag about it, but then they're on to the next and they're posting another brand and everyone's moved on anyway. So it's such a weird world, social media is.
Do you have a specific win that did work with social media? Like a certain influencer?
I remember it wasn't a particular influencer, but a couple of years ago we did a campaign for Black Friday and we posted chilies, right? So it was everyone posted a black screen on their story and they just had the chili emoji. So everyone thought it was OnlyFans, right? And so we had hundreds of influencers posting at the exact same time. And this is a viral moment that like the whole team is so proud of. And so at the exact same time, everyone posted on their story these chilies and everyone clicked and you go on and it was like our sale had launched early.
But was anyone nervous to post? Like were any influencers? You know what?
No, they weren't. Even people that I thought, like when we reached out, I was thinking like, oh, maybe we can give them another emoji option. I was like, no. I'm just going to ask the peach. I'm just going to ask. They want to do the eggplant. No.
Yeah. In our Vogue cover, they posted Tom and I as a joke. I was holding a rock melon and Tom was holding an eggplant here, and it's in Vogue. And I was like, did they not see that? I was
That's so funny. Someone at Vogue is like,
the eggplant
so
emoji.
Yeah.
No.
That was a cool viral moment.
That's
when
really
everyone
cool.
posted.
And that's different and unique.
It's fun finding those things because sometimes it's hard to sell a pair of tights. Sometimes it's hard to get people especially during Black Friday periods when everyone's on sale, it's hard to get that attention. So coming up with things like that, when you
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by
We're trying to think of some more. So.
Yeah, something that works like that.
Yeah.
Well, Till, you're amazing. I always end the pod with the same question, which is what advice would you give to your younger self?
I would say don't get tattoos. I'm removing like all of my tattoos at the moment. That's my first piece of advice.
Yeah, you don't seem like a tattoo girl.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, my tattoos are.
Oh, really?
I have so many. Have you not seen that?
No.
Like I have like this. Like,
wait, what? No, because you're so like classy.
Thank you. This was the some regrets. So don't get tattoos would be my younger self. Also, I think just like be open to, I was always very open, but I think being open to like the universe and things are going to work out. Yeah. I look back and I'm like, even if I have a hard day at work, I often look back and I think my younger self would be thinking like I'm so cool now. And I think that is like, I've always been that person who's like, life is so good, life is so fun. Oh my God, I'm so lucky. Like I've always been like that. There are times when I think like when I'm going through a lot and it is really hard for me to remember those moments. But majority of my life, I'm like, this is really cool. Like life is really fun. And I think it will all work out is what I would tell my younger self. But then again, my younger self didn't really stress too much about it. I've always been very open and like enjoying life. And I had big ideas for like what my future would be without necessarily knowing that it was going to be an activewear. I just knew that was like, I was always open to things and giving things a go and just really positive.
Yeah, I feel like your affirmation is that I trust the universe. Yeah. Like I feel like you have this real trust in the divine and it's so nice to talk to you. I feel really, really inspired and just for everyone to hear the full journey, you know. Everyone sees a 60-second reel. Yeah. You can't share that much, but in a nice long format, you can really hear the rags to riches story and it's so inspiring.
Thank you, my love.
So if you guys love this episode, make sure to share it on your story, tag Till and I, and let the girls where they can find you.
Yes.
They probably know, but just let them know.
So you can shop STAX, stax.com.au, STAX official _ is the Instagram, then my personal is Matilda _Murray _.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thanks, my love.